Daily Dysfunction is now back, and it's time for Question of the Day.
What's something that always can tickle your funny bone? 253-833-5004 is that number to call, or text us 253-293-5069.
For me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love podcasts, but there's one in particular that always makes me laugh, and I listen to my headphones in public just walking around, so I bust out laughing just walking down the street or something. It's called If I Were You. It's an advice podcast.
You're like Gabe in any of Tom's classes.
I was going to say, that's what I do, and teachers always make stupid jokes on tests that I have. And
especially Tom.
Yeah, and I'll just laugh hysterically at them.
We'll be sitting in the back of the room, and he's like taking a test, and all of a sudden, here's Gabe. Silent room. It's totally silent. He's just giggling. I look at him, I'm like, dude, you're crazy. You look like you're insane.
That's a good joke right there.
But so what is this podcast exactly?
It's called If I Were You. It's hosted by... Do you guys watch any College Humor things?
Yes,
sometimes.
every once in a while.
There's Jake and Amir on College Humor. It's hosted by them, and it's just them giving advice and making up fake names for these people, and it is so funny. Their advice is so outrageous, but it also makes you think and realize, hey, this actually could work.
They also got a show, it was like The Pranks or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Prank Wars?
Prank Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That was
actually
funny.
stopped doing that because one of the pranks went like way too far. Because I think it was Jake made Amir think he was gonna die because Amir jumped out of to parachute. He jumped out of a plane, and so they had
funny.
they paid the guy who jumped with him to say like the parachute's not working until the very last second.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that. He
made
was
my heart stop.
freaking.
And then
out.
the joke, like the whole the pranks thing just ended.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're done.
Well,
no
no,
more of
they
that.
did an actual shows on like MTV or VH1.
Oh, did they really?
Something like that. Where they just hosted a show.
How did I not know this?
That sent in, like, people sent in tapes of them doing pranks.
It was like funniest home videos and Tosh.0 kind of mixed and made just prank videos.
Dang, I love those two Jews. They're so good.
Okay.
They're Jewish.
They're both Jewish.
They are.
What always tickles my funny bone is when I listen to Christopher Titus. He's one of my all-time favorite comedians, and I don't know, he's funny to listen to, but even I think funnier to watch because he has like a Jim Carrey-esque feel to him.
He's very physical.
Yeah, where he'll like throw his body around, and he has a lot of just like physical comedy. And I've always wanted to see him live, and he would always go to casinos where it's 21 and up. And since I've been 21, he hasn't come back, and it pisses me off.
That's upsetting when like the 21 and up bands or comedians or performers come to your state when you're not 21, but then the moment you turn 21, none of the people you want to see who only play 21 and up shows show up anymore.
Happens every time.
Yeah, exactly. But Christopher Titus he's a great comedian. I can listen to his albums over and over and over again, and I still laugh just as hard every time.
Yeah, he's a very violent, I'd say.
I was going to say not vulgar, but yes, violent's a good way. He's dysfunctional.
Yeah, he is very dysfunctional. And I always laughed at his dad jokes because it's pretty much what every guy wanted to do to his dad, because there's always that tension when you're becoming a man.
Yeah.
And that's one of his major things that he used to do comedy routines about. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, and then they'd like go to fight him, and his dad would just punch him square in the face, and he'd be down and like,
Now go
tomorrow.
do that again. He used to have this TV show called Titus. And
I liked that show a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Was that his actual dad on the show?
No, that's he's an actor. His dad passed away, I think, a long time ago, from what I can hear. But I don't know. I mean, like, he talks about his dad like he is still alive. So when
I thought one of his family members was on the show with him. Or maybe it was behind the scenes or something.
I think it might have been behind the scenes. I don't think any family member. I don't know for sure.
Was that show based on his life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like loosely based on his life?
Yeah, and like his stand-up and everything.
Very funny.
Yeah, it is.
I really like that show.
What's something that can always tickle your funny bone? 253-833-5004 is that number to call, or text us 253-293-5069.
Myself, there's certain movies that can do it, and I don't really watch a lot of them, but I can watch the same one over and over again and laugh at it. There's certain movies with staying power that I like. One of them is Zoolander.
Oh yeah.
That movie just makes me crack up every time. Especially there's this scene where he goes into a massage parlor, and it's a happy ending type one.
Yeah.
And so the lady's trying to do the please him, if you will, and it keeps dodging and moving around.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those movies that I can watch again and again and laugh. And I really like Ben Stiller as an actor.
I have a similar thing. I can watch Shaun of the Dead 1,000 times
Oh,
and
yeah.
laugh
Shaun
at
of the Dead's
every
a
part of
great
it
movie.
Oh,
every
yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
It's I don't. Well, the first time I watched it, because I wasn't really into British humor at the time, it was a little dry for me. But then once I got more used to it, I liked it more and more.
It's what started me on British humor.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts is the whole when they go to pick up the mom and the stepdad, and Nick Foles sees the Jaguar.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I want to drive." It's
Drive
like,
it. You're not driving the Jaguar.
we have this car. Just stay here. All right, go get your mom. I'll wait here with the car. Don't worry.
Yeah, and then
Just
they come
crashes.
back. The car is crashed, and he goes, "Oh, looks like we got to take the Jaguar."
I hit a pole. Like, you were parked. It came out of nowhere.
My favorite scene in that movie is when they're in the pub and "Don't Stop Me Now" comes on, and they're just beating the zombies to the beat. So good.
I know that's awesome, but I do want to talk a little bit more about Zoolander, because that movie I have seen multiple times, and Will Ferrell.
I
got
didn't
to?
even recognize Will Ferrell in that movie because he's
yeah.
so dressed up.
Yeah, he is, but it also, I didn't know who Will Ferrell was that well as soon as I found out, like, I don't know, this was about maybe 5 years ago, who he was.
This is like right out of SNL.
Yeah, basically. And so, like, I mean, he doesn't disguise his voice or anything, but yeah, it's the hair and the makeup and everything. It's like, wow, that is Will Ferrell.
Did you guys hear about Zoolander 2?
What?
No.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Will Ferrell's coming back in it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a date?
Not that I saw. I didn't look for the date. I just saw that there was a second one.
It's probably just a fake thing.
Yeah.
It's not a fake.
And not to mention, Owen Wilson kind of just disappeared.
No, he didn't.
I haven't seen him that.
He's doing the Night at the Museums.
Owen
Is
Wilson?
there a new one coming
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing him in Wedding Crashers. That was him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
Marley and Me.
Right, but I mean,
that's
like,
because I never watched that movie.
He hasn't been in a movie. Night at the Museum 2 came out like a few years ago. He
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
been
pretty old
anything like
movie.
really
Yeah,
recent.
he's gonna be in Zoolander 2.
Wow.
Oh, jeez. So it's on
Oh,
there.
he just completed a bunch of stuff, so he's been working.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
There are periods when actors just disappear for like a year, and then like 7 movies come out with them in it at the same time.
Like Kevin Hart.
He was
Yeah,
in. He was
exactly.
in Grand Budapest Hotel.
I actually kind of wanted to see that
Me
movie.
too.
It looked a little fancy and artsy.
Schwartzman's in it.
It is. My parents were watching it, and I thought it was an older movie and found out it wasn't.
No, yeah,
Parts of it made me laugh. It had almost like a Monty Python humor.
yeah.
It's
That's
this-
what I was kind of thinking.
It's the same guys that I think did Royal Tenenbaums and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou or whatever. I think
never
it's
seen
the
that
any of
one.
same
those.
guy.
That one was weird. I didn't like that one.
I think Edward Norton's in the.
He is.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I wanted to watch the whole thing. I might have to go and rewatch it, but the parts I sat down and watched, it was really funny.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me almost the same humor as like a Monty Python, like I said, but also a little bit like Inglourious Bastards kind of humor.
Okay.
But yeah,
Very brutal type of humor.
well, and not brutal, but I don't know what it. Just watching it made me also think of Inglourious Bastards. And I
I
don't
think
know
it's
if
because the filter on the movie. It's very grainy.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it's got
so.
like the old film grain filter.
yeah.
Yeah.